4K 120 or HD 240. Now when you swipe left on the screen, it's going to bring up previously recorded footage. And so when you're in the footage, you can tap in the upper left-hand corner, see all the clips and scroll through them. You can select one, you can hit play. You could also scrub through this footage, forwards or backwards. And then when the footage is paused, you can...
What's going on, YouTube? So got a new camera here, hopefully you can tell, and so this is the DJI Pocket 3 Osmo, or the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I don't really know what it's called, but this thing is pretty freaking cool. Little small tiny camera. It's got a lot of interesting features that I'm going to try out today. I've got Poe with me in the back, and I'm going to use him for some stuff and just kind of walk around. It's not super dark yet. In fact, the sun's setting, but it's not even remotely close. But I just want to get some shots, check out the overall footage. I guess you can call this a freaking review if you want to. I don't know. I really just want to test this thing out and see how it's going to perform and see how it looks on YouTube and yada, 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 stuff like that. So let's get some footage. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's not really going to be that interesting unless you like basset hounds, because there's going to be probably a lot of Poe in it. So yeah, let's see what we can record. So this will be the only part of this video that I'm actually recording on my phone, but here it is, the DJI Osmo 3 DJI Pocket. I don't even know how you pronounce it. DJI Pocket Osmo 3. DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I don't know. Anyways, here it is. And I've got the battery extender on it. I got the creator bundle, which came with the battery to extend the life. Came with this tripod. Also came with the microphone, which I'm going to be trying on. I didn't have it on in that first clip, but after this, I'm going to have the microphone on for the rest of the video. This thing's pretty nifty. You just slide the screen here. It's going to turn on. It's going to look at me. You can't really see it because it's really bright out and I've got the screen low. If I tap this 3 times, this little joystick, it moves the gimbal around. And look at that. Look how cool that is. And then you can actually use this if you want to manually move it around, move it up and down, things like that. If you tap it twice, it goes back to default. So there's a lot of cool features with this. You can do tracking, things like that. I'm very excited to be using this for the future vlogs. And I think this is going to be a game changer for this channel, that's for sure. Turn it off, and let's continue recording. So right now it's doing some face tracking. You guys can see the microphone right here. I think it's on. So the microphone is what you're hearing. This thing is pretty much following my face automatically as I turn it. If I swivel the actual camera itself, it follows me. How freaking cool is that? That's pretty neat. Hey, Poe. See if I can turn this. And then there is Popo, who's very excited. And you can also do tracking on like objects. So that's what I'm going to be using Poe for, if it'll let me do it. I don't know if it's letting me track him or not. I'm going to, like I said, this is my first time using this. I'm still trying to figure out how it works. There it is. So you got to double tap the screen, then it'll actually track an object. So you can see right here, it's following Poe around. Poe's ready to get out, and there are some other dogs here. So here's this little dog park here. I'm going to let Poe loose in there, let him run around, and like I said, just play around with this camera a little bit and see what we get. And it's pretty cool. This thing just automatically starts tracking my face as soon as I turn on, which is a setting I have to make that happen. But it's really neat. And there's a lot of tracking features on this too. Like just in general, like the camera will follow me around. So watch this. I'm going to set this down on this little podium here. And it's a little tall, but it should follow me. And you're also going to hear me really well because of this microphone. But if I go over here, how cool is that? I mean, what more can you ask for out of a camera. Then you come over here, it's still following me. So there's a lot of cool stuff I can do here. Also, not a lot of wind, but as I've been saying in my other videos, I've been having some issues with my microphone. I think I can hook this up to my phone, but truthfully, I don't know if I ever will, because I'll just use this thing. Why wouldn't I use this thing? And see, even when I get closer, look at that. I don't know, this may look a little bit crappy with the sun right behind me as far as exposure, something more I need to play around with it. It's kind of high up too, so there's probably a lot of headroom, but you know, this is what we're gonna be dealing with now, and I'm super excited. And then I can just pick this right back up and I can just continue walking around with it. I'm in a dog pen though, so there's might be some crap, dog crap, because people don't clean up after their dogs a lot. We're gonna get in the shade here. Here's the shade. Everything is on default, auto, everything, auto white balance, auto color correction. This camera's got a lot of cool features with low light, which I'm super excited for, because in my other videos and in the past, low light has been something I've really struggled with, trying to get it correct. Disney has a lot of dark rides that when I go on them, it's hard to get good footage. I'm hoping this really helps that. So yeah, also my old camera, I usually use a Canon M50, and it has 4K, but it's not like full frame 4K. It's kind of downsized, so I don't ever use it. I use like the Ultra HD, which looks good. I'm not knocking that camera at all. That camera's old and it still looks fantastic. But in general, this thing is kind of going to be the future. I know a lot of vloggers have been using this. A lot of people I follow have started to revert to this, even from the Canon G7X, which was the standard vlogging camera for years. It's now reverting to this. So anyways, let's get some footage of Poe. I'm going to do some tracking on him and see what we can get. It's weird, this microphone vibrates every time it's turned on and off. Well, Poe's taking a dump, so let's do something else. Okay, now that Poe decided to get done using the bathroom, here we are. So if I double tap the screen, it should lock onto him. And there it is, it's auto tracking Poe now. So as I move, it's going to stay with him. And I'm kind of just following him here, seeing how the footage looks, but it's definitely tracking him. Hey, Poe. He's smelling all the dogs. But like, even if he starts walking away, I mean, I'm not doing any of this. I'm not keeping him in frame. I mean, all I'm doing is just moving the actual camera to keep him in frame. But like, as far as the gimbal and keeping him in the shot, that's all on the camera. And right, it's still got the tracking on. It's starting to lose it as he's getting farther away. But if I start moving to him, you know, there you go. It's right back on him. It kept the tracking basically that whole time. Papa? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know what he's doing. He's smelling other dogs. That's what he's doing. So now this is me manually moving the gimbal. Not moving myself, just with the joystick here. Moving it around. Oh no. People are going to make him bark. Yep. The zoom feature is kind of to be desired here. It's not very good. That's the zoom. I probably will never use that, to be honest. Alright. I wonder how his bark sounds. Back on the tracking here, by the way, with the old Popo. So, he's very cranky. Very, very cranky. Yeah, as soon as I turn it back to me, it does face tracking immediately. So it's just tracking me instantly as soon as I turn the camera. It's super easy to turn the camera and everything. I'm going to try a time lapse. I just want to see what it does. They actually do this cool feature with the time lapse where the camera will move as it's time lapsing. So let's do a short one of them. It's going to be super boring. It's just going to be Poe walking around. But let's give her a try. So I'm not really 100% sure how that turned out. I was kind of watching it in my phone, on my phone, as you could see in the video. That took 10 minutes, and it should be about 10 seconds long. Come on, jabroni. It looked pretty cool, but the mic was still connected, but I don't think it records audio when you do that. So, yeah, I don't think it was actually recording what I was saying, but it's pretty neat. Just sat it on the ground there, let it do its thing. Maybe you can see the sun start going down because it is starting to set now. One last thing we're gonna check, and it's not gonna be super dark, and I'm not gonna stay here and wait till it gets dark. We're gonna go into this little woods area by this park and see what it looks like in there. Also, Poe is pulling me around everywhere, so I don't know how stable this footage is gonna be, but we're gonna try our best, see how it goes. This is with me looking at the sun, by the way, and I can't see a daggone thing in this camera. So it may be overexposed. Some more settings I'm gonna have to mess with. And I know it's probably jumping all over the place because I'm going from bright to not bright. But let's head into the woods here. So this is just me casually walking too, by the way. And I mean, he is pulling me, but I'm curious how stable it's gonna be. Poe loves going back here. Like, this is like his place. And he pees on everything, but he loves coming back here. I'm seeing if he'll let me track him. This is really hard while I'm walking him. Oh, look at that. See? So it's tracking him right now as we walk. Come on. You gotta just keep pulling him. It's doing a pretty decent job. The tracking on this thing is pretty good. Look at that. I'm not like hardly doing anything to follow him. He's kind of just doing it on his own. And right there you can see a little bit of the gimbal. It said gimbal endpoint reach. So if I double tap it, there we go back to the beginning. I can go back down here. I can try and find Poe. Double tap the screen. It's trying. There we go. Auto track enabled. There we go. Now we're watching Poe again. And all he's doing is just sniffing and peeing. So, oh, hold up. He got some get up there. But, yeah, see, and it keeps saying subject loss. It is kind of losing him a little bit, but it does actually go back to tracking him. And like I said, you need to reset the gimbal. It's just a double tap here. But here we are. We're out in the wooded area. And I will say, let me switch this over to me. I will say that it's keeping a good charge. This camera is supposed to be like a little over 2 hours by itself, but then you add the battery pack, which honestly is just nice to hold the camera with. It makes it a little bit bigger and it's easier to hold. I think it's like 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours when you're continuously recording 4K. That's amazing. Like, that's a lot. So, which is good, because I thought about buying another battery pack, but truthfully, if I'm out somewhere and I'm using this and I'm filming a lot, like when I go to the parks, or somewhere just in general that I'm like doing an event or something like that, Comic-Con, a toy show, where I'm filming a lot of footage, what I can do is bring one of those little battery packs and charge the battery handle, get that charged up, plug that back into the Osmo, and keep going. So basically, that's how you can charge this. It's kind of like a little cheat if you don't want to buy another battery pack, which honestly, they're like 70 bucks, I think at most. So it's like, it's not that bad, really. But like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, that's a lot. That's pretty freaking good. So, what are you sniffing? Huh? What are you doing? It's amazing, like, and now I'm that's not the camera tracking, that's me. It's pretty amazing though, like how fast you can flip back and forth. The gimbal movement's pretty smooth. Like there I am moving it manually. And then if you start like kind of losing orientation, a double tap gets you right back to where you start. And It doesn't look like robot-y. I mean, it does a little bit, like especially if I go way out here like this and I double tap, like, yeah, that looks artificial as frick. But normally it doesn't. It looks very smooth. You can control the gimbal speed. This is me moving it with my hand, and you can see it's very smooth, moving with me. It's not fast, it's not jarring. It won't make you feel sick. If I point up to the sky, it's still doing its thing. If I point it down to the ground where you can see Poe, it's holding very well. I noticed with a Canon M50, here, I'll put it on me. I noticed with the Canon M50, or other than the GoPro was solid. I think I have a GoPro 9. It's really good at that. But the Canon M50 or my phone, it's very fast movements. Sometimes it makes me feel nauseous editing. I know it's probably a little bit nauseous to watch. But this thing, nice and smooth. And look at this. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool how it moves that? And then also, this is a new feature I found out. If I move the gimbal itself and then I move me, it keeps me in that spot with the gimbal. Isn't that cool? And then if I double tap it, it goes right back to the center, re-enables the face, still following me, still watching me. Yeah, this is really cool. So far, really liking this camera. I feel like it's gonna be a good upgrade for the channel. Like I said in my beginning video of this year, it's my goal to make this channel what I want it to be, move it along, make it better, make it more efficient. That's the plan, and I think with this camera, I can definitely achieve that. Also, they make like a wide angle lens for this. I'm gonna try that out in a second. I really didn't notice a huge difference between wide angle and regular. And when you put the wide angle lens on it, when you go to turn the camera off, it doesn't close the camera. Normally it gets stuck on the lens, like there's not enough room for it. So that's stupid. I don't know why they did that, but that's a little minor complaint for something that you really don't need, because right now I'm holding the camera not even like a straight elbow. Like here's straight elbow right there. This is just kind of like half elbow, and it's almost the same distance and quality as the Canon M50 with my wide angle lens on it, where I have to hold it kind of further out. This is actually a pretty good, comfortable spot to hold the camera. But I'm gonna throw the wide angle lens on now, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Okay, so no wide angle lens. Here's the attachment for the wide angle lens, and it's really small. I don't know if you can even see it or not, but that's it. I don't know if it's gonna focus on it or not. And it's magnetic, so really all I do is just plop it on there like that, and there you go. There's the wide angle lens. Now I'm holding it in the same exact spot as I was before, and it does get a little bit more wider. It's not really doing anything that major for me, but yeah, this is the wide angle lens. Here's the environment. You can kind of get a look at it. I come out here a lot to do like outside running when it's nice out. It's like mid 40s right now, which I'm not complaining in Ohio. That's February in Ohio. Hey, that's pretty freaking decent. But everything's dead still. Usually there's like super tall grass here. It's all dead. This windmill is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it or not. You should be able to. And like I said, man, Poe loves coming out here. This is like one of his spots, man. I don't know, he just enjoys it. And there's a little lake over here that he goes over to and gets filthy in, and then I gotta give him a bath. But yeah, he loves this place. I can usually get him to like run around too, and run with me sometimes. He likes coming out here and running with me, which is crazy. And keeping him in good health. Keeping him in good health there. Oh, and there it says gimbal endpoint reached. And it's back to me. And now we're back this way. Still with the wide angle lens on too. And the good thing is, like if I want to show you without it, literally all I gotta do is just pop that off. There's no wide angle right there. Let's put it back on. There it is with it on. It's kind of hard to see in this light. I have the screen really dull just because I don't want a super bright screen on, especially when I'm doing rides, you know? So like when I'm doing rides at Disney World or somewhere like that, I hate when people have like a super bright screen on. I feel really bad. So I made this screen as dull as I could, which inside can see really well. I can say out here, it's kind of a little rough, but yeah. Let me know in the comments if you guys think the wide angle lens being on, is it a better look? I don't think so, just because it's kind of inconvenient for me to have to take it off every time I turn the camera off, or it flies off, or it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. So, but there are certain circumstances where I think it's going to be nice, but like, is it that big of a difference? Now it's off, and I'm holding it in the same exact spot almost. So, I don't know. All right, Poe. I think it's time to go home. What do you think? Are you ready to go home, buddy? Yeah, when I get in the shade, it's definitely a lot easier to see him. But, and if I turn the brightness up, then yeah, the screen would be fine. But I also have sunglasses on, so I bet you if I take the sunglasses off, yeah, I can see way better. Whoa! That was a good stability test there. I was barely holding on to that with him pulling me. But I think we're going to go home. Papa, you want to go home, buddy? We've been out here long enough. I'm starting to get cold. Now I'm holding the gimbal upside down because I want to see how it does tracking him whenever he moves here. But of course, he got caught up in the leash. Come here. Come here. There we go. So I'm holding the gimbal upside down, and I'm just trying to follow him the best I can, but he decided to run, so I don't know how well this is going to work, but he's... Why are you running all of a sudden? That's a good test there. That's a really good test on the tracking, but I'm going to have to watch this later and see how this works. But he's ready to leave, so I'm going to end this now because I'm sick of running like with my knees bent. Holy frick. Like I said earlier, he loves coming out here and just running with me, and it's really funny because I've had other basset hounds. Whoa! I've had other basset hounds that don't like to be active. Most of the time, basset hounds do not want to do anything. They just want to sleep. But Popo, he likes running around. He likes being active. Also, I'm breathing kind of heavy. So I wonder how this mic sounds. I wonder if you guys can hear me breathing real heavy, if it sounds ridiculous. It's all stuff I'm going to watch, review, show you guys. Also, this microphone, DJI Mic 2, super easy to hook up to this. Basically, auto-synced it. And it's really high quality. Like, I already know it's high quality. I've done some test footage before this and listened to it. It sounds great. I think it's gonna be nice for cons so you can hear me better and not hear background noise. Things like that. And it's just, right now I've got it magnetically on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. No, because it's tracking my face. Stop tracking my face. There. Okay, look at it. See that? Right there? It's just a magnet. There's a magnet option or a clip option. I like the magnet. I like how the magnet looks. It's kind of bulky. It's not as bulky as I thought it would be, which is good, but it is kind of bulky. Frick. Okay, let's close this out. This is way longer of a video than what I wanted it to be. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. If you're thinking about buying a DJI Osmo 3, I had to get this one on Best Buy. They're kind of short supply right now. I know Sweetwater's got some backup on it. Even the website, you can get them, but the fastest way to get them is on Best Buy as of the release of this video. I got it basically 6 days after I ordered it, so that's really cool. Upgrade to 4K, I think this is a very cheap option and something you should look into. It's a very budget-friendly setup that most people can't afford to get. I'm like not even paying attention to the camera, to be honest with you. I don't know how it's recording. I'm kind of moving all over the place, but it seems to be keeping up with me, which is cool. All right, anyways, like, subscribe, all that bull crap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Till next time.